Oh yeah, bro. Guess what I'm hitting you with? Did you just say a 2-part video on the Vita carnis? At the exact same moment I was editing the other one? Well, you'd be correct. Now, fellas, let's get back into this because, as you know, I'm not scared of this right now. But, sorry, I had to cut the video. There's an ad, so.
The host of influence.
Host of influence. Let's go.
The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics. The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement.
Alright, that makes sense.
The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air.
Nasty.
These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs. Luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America. Obtaining it.
Alright, now I just think this show is just dogging on North America. Am I right? Scream if you think I'm right. Thank you.
Info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one. The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them.
Basically, what will happen?
An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles.
Okay.
If you, or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services.
I think I will.
After a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the
I think I know what that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just. Let's just keep going on to the video.
organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected individual. If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs.
Oh,
The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal.
That's neat.
If a host is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new location.
So the dude can just
Their
go.
scarce numbers and the hazard of being around
I'm
one
out.
makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs.
We'll do so.
Next, the monoliths.
Monoliths, huh? Those aren't those like the dudes that are like really, really tall? I think they are. This video talks about anime. You hear that, guys? This video talks about anime.
The monoliths. The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of. There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds.
I love how we
The
don't need to
monolith is
know.
a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2
Oh
trunk
my
legs that are
gosh.
firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso. The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly
at
woven
that,
together
bro.
to form the structure. These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground.
Okay.
At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away. What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in. During this period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of were making their way to the city, the monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched,
they got
once
millywatts.
they got close enough top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
Is that one of the bellows? Oh shoot, yeah, it is. I honestly have to admit, this is one of like the most neat ones. You know, these look interesting.
Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all. Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is marvelous and majestic world that exists today. It's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery.
We're not gonna do that. Okay, so clearly you saw the circle. If you could tell me what that is, that'd be great. I do not know. Let's get back into it.
Of the lives of these living meat creatures.
Thanks for watching. More to come. Cool. And luckily, there is. Look at that. And it's 32 minutes. Looks like we're not to say that for another video. Anyways, so that was Vita Carnis. I'm not wanting to wait. Is that the full? Oh, that's the full footage. Okay, we could just skip the open that. Sorry, folks. Sorry about that.
This could be the greatest discovery of the age.
Baby. Let this feeling in.
Have any information of the whereabouts of
Be making a dish that has recently gained a fair amount of popularity. Today's dish will be a cheesy crawl penne.
That sounds very nice.
To start off, these will be the ingredients you will need. 3 cups of penne pasta. Roughly 3 cups worth of fresh crawl. Try to get a variety of sizes when you buy yours, or when you harvest them yourself. 1 cup of cheese, half a cup of green onion, 1 teaspoon of salt,
Okay.
2 tablespoons of Cajun spice, 2 tablespoons of parsley, 1 tablespoon of dill, 1 tablespoon of garlic, a pinch of pepper, and finally, the most crucial ingredient, Nutrier Company's newly released Flavor Enhancer.
Yeah,
To bring
flavor
out the
enhance.
richness of flavors within each and every
I'm not tweaking. Orange stuff equal maybe, just maybe, the host spores that I think have just been dried up to where it does not have the effect.
meal.
Let's see.
First, get a medium-sized pot and fill half of it with water.
Why is he wearing like a hat? Why is he wearing like a suit? I'm scared.
Add a pinch of salt, which is used to help the pot come to a boil faster and help flavor the pasta.
Okay.
Then, set aside to boil. Grab your crawl and a sharp knife. Begin
Here's
to cut
crow.
the meat into a rough mince.
Oh, that's crawl. It just looks like sausage. Right? Dude, the way they make this looks so good. Oh my. Not like appetizing, but like, oh. You know what I mean. Like, it looks like something you find out of...
Crawl is soft on the outside, but the interior has a surprising sturdiness. Then,
Dude.
gather the meat and set aside.
Why does it have to make that sound? Like, come on, are we serious?
Mince the green onion into rough segments. Take this mince and set aside as well. Next, grab your skillet and preheat with some oil.
Okay.
Take your minced crawl and spread it evenly across the skillet.
Alright.
Stir occasionally until crisp and brown. As your water reaches a boil, add your penne and stir occasionally.
Okay. You can see the line of like the boiling. I give them that. That's actually kind of cool. Props to them.
Cook until soft.
Dude, this music is
At
honestly
this
killing
time,
me, bro.
your crawl
I hate
will
this
be brown and
music.
crisp.
It's just...
Add your minced green onion and then the spices. Mix well. Once your pasta is finished cooking, strain it.
Okay.
Lay your cooked penne evenly into your dish.
Oh, you saw that, right? They're wearing like a gas mask, so that way they do not get harmed by the spores. This is weird
Then
advertisement.
add the crawl topping.
Like, all of this is fine, except that weird enhancer.
Sprinkle a generous amount of cheese along the still warm crawl for it to melt. At this point, finish preparing the dish with your flavor enhancer, but allow your dish to cool to a temperature below 60 degrees Celsius.
Look at that. See? No, you heard the music. As soon as they started talking about it, that music started like weirding out and like corrupting. What? You see, this is honestly getting really good. I'm not getting scared though, surprisingly, because as you've probably seen in earlier videos, I get scared from the smallest things.
The enhancer will not work. And now, you may serve and enjoy.
Is that the dark substance? Oh my gosh, it's so loud. Alright, so... Alright.
Style or substance? Or here's another choice.
Many people get pets
This video is Guide to Owning a Pet
for
Trimming.
companionship.
I like to know about this.
They
I
form
kind of want to
bonds
own one
and grow
myself.
relationships with these animals, even to the point of them being considered a part of the family.
Aw.
Most people get dogs or cats, but maybe you want something more
I
interesting.
want a trimming! Now!
Then you may want to get yourself a trimming. These
Aw.
lumps of meat have grown a reputation to be a loving companion
it
for many
smiling.
people in the recent months. Although, most people may not know the proper ways to care for them. Today, we will be showing you how you can care for your pet trimming. Taking care of a trimming is fairly easy, but this is no reason to slack off.
Alright.
They are living things and do require maintenance. The first thing to keep in mind when keeping a trimming is the temperature of your home. While trimmings are resilient to both high and low conditions, you want to keep your base temperature near room temp, maybe slightly cooler. That being said, trimmings prefer warmer areas to nest. A simple setup you may use is a box with some blankets on the inside.
Wow,
Make
that was like
sure there
so
is enough
minimal
for your
effort.
trimming
Love
to
it.
cover itself. And now, you have a comfy bed for your buddy. Next, you want to give your
Aw, look at
trimming
it.
the best diet
It's nice.
possible. Trimmings are not picky eaters, and will eat anything you give them. To keep your trimming
Angelica,
healthy and
that's
strong,
nice.
a diet of dry cat or dog food that is high in protein, provided 2 times a day, is best. As a treat, you may give your trimming any scraps of your food. Things like apple cores, banana peels, or eggshells are a
Banana
perfect snack.
peels.
A thing to remember is trimmings are nocturnal and make plenty of noise.
Ooh. It sounds like the baby! It sounds like the baby from Resident Evil Village. Dude, I have nightmares of that thing. I don't even care about, like, the vita carnis. You want to know the real vita carnis? The weird baby thing from Resident Evil Village. That thing is nasty. My gosh. You can hear it.
To prevent you from having sleepless nights, try to give your trimmings first meal in the late morning or afternoon. This helps them be active during these times instead. Another thing to consider if you want a pet trimming is where they will be living. Your home should have enough space for your trimming to roam around, as well as access to the outdoors, like a backyard. If not, be sure to take your trimmings on regular walks. This gives your trimming the exercise they need,
Aw,
as well
look at
as
them.
allowing them to meet other trimmings. Trimmings are a social creature and need to interact with others of their kind, like how they do in the wild. When it comes to entertainment, trimmings are not the most active and aren't the best at fetch or tug of war.
Clearly.
But here are other ways to keep your trimming entertained. Some toys that trimmings like are little items they can push, around, pull, or carry. Trimmings also enjoy things that you enjoy as well, like watching the television or listening to the radio. They love seeing and listening to all the funny things coming from the devices. After a long day, your trimming might be dirty and need a wash. To clean them, start your bath with a gentle warm water, mixed with a bit of hand or body wash. Gently scrub the trimming's feet, armpits, belly, and neck fold. Remember to be careful around their face, and avoid getting soap in their eyes, nose, and mouth. Gently pat dry with a towel when done. Now your buddy is all clean.
Aw, that's honestly so peaceful.
And lastly, as said before, trimmings are social creatures, so be sure to give them plenty of affection. They love receiving pats, scratches, and pets. They also love to sit with you and cuddle. Since they communicate with each other in the wild, it is best to replicate this behavior with them as well. Simply talking to them is plenty enough. You can talk about your day, if anything interesting happened at work, if you are working on any new recipes, or talk about the weather.
Recipes? Maybe that relates to the last video with all the spore stuff. Let's continue.
Trimmings are very good listeners and love to be involved. With all of these in mind, you are now well equipped to have a trimming become a part of the family. Do things right, and you will have a companion for a long while.
Whoa! What was that? More to come. Another 3-minute video. Okay, this is probably going to be our last video. Because... Alright, let's see this. This is called Meat Snake Specimen. Oh, meat Snake Specimen. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or just if you show this to other people, that's illegal.
In the year of 1945, with the war finally ended, the cleanup process had started. During routine sweep of an underground train tunnel, the cleanup crew made a grotesque discovery.
Is that a meat snake?
Found completely filling the tunnel was a meaty wall, and in the center of the mass was an opening with several skulls surrounding it.
That's
Closer
looking
inspection
crazy.
of the blockage revealed that the mass was actually an extremely engorged meat snake. Its impeccable size had blocked off the entirety of the tunnel's path. There was many strange things with this creature. First was the coloration. A typical meat snake's color is bright reds and light browns. This particular
Bright reds, or dark browns, or like a really good tans. Let's continue.
meat snake was a very deep maroon. Another strange thing about it was its behavior. This creature barely moved. Meat snakes are normally sluggish and encumbersome, but the specimen discovered seemed to lack even basic motor functions. Its behavior was that of a plant's, stationary, with only minor movements within. One would assume it was dead. The reason the meat snake may act this way may be because it was completely lodged in place and minimized movements to conserve energy. But how would it have gotten this deep into the tunnel in the first place? And by the looks of weathering, it had been in there for quite some time. So how did it get so large? The answer was discovered by a different cleaning crew, who found the other end of the tunnel. They followed it until it met with the other end of the meat snake. Alongside it was a huge pile of This meat snake's skin also displayed great amounts of resilience. It took several days of cutting to even obtain a sample. Here, you can see the clear difference between this meat snake
looks like
specimen
jerky.
versus a normal meat snake's membrane. Testing on the sample showed that it had great immunity to damage. It tolerated extreme freezing temperatures, extreme heat temperatures, and
Dude,
even
imagine
high
like a
doses
vita
of
mimic
radiation.
or like a mimic.
It
Got
is
to
a
that.
wonder how
That would
such
be so
durability can
bad.
occur in an
That
organic
would like,
creature.
end us.
Another strange phenomenon is the smell off the skin. Normally, it would have a sour smell of rotting flesh. But the specimen displayed a rather pleasant smell, like that of cooking scrambled eggs. Meat snake was later discovered to be missing by unknown survivors. How the meat snake grew in size was discovered to be
Oh, okay. Dang. Alright, I'm gonna see the rest of the videos, see if they're long. Okay, we're gonna leave that for later. The Vita Carnis Mimic Defense instruction page. Oh, and then we got all of this. Which is why we're gonna leave that into the next video. Oh yeah, you guys hate me, I know. But seriously, if you guys like this series, please tell me. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.